All right, so today we're going to dive into something a little different. We're looking at the anatomy of a tragedy, really. It's from a story treatment called Resonant, and it asks a pretty heavy question. What if we were offered this incredible gift from the stars and we just threw it all away? So, all those alien invasion movies? Throw them out the window for this one. This story kicks off with a really simple but powerful question. What if First Contact wasn't an invasion at all? And that's just the start. What if it was an invitation? A chance for us to evolve, to become something more. But our own baggage, our own fear, just got in the way. Yeah, that's the haunting idea at the very core of Resonant. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to go back, way back, long before any ship showed up in the sky. It all starts with a signal, more like a dream, really. A dream that's been echoing through human history for centuries. And, well, it kind of planted the seeds for our own downfall. Just try to picture this for a second. For centuries, all across the globe, people are having the exact same dream. It's not about words or pictures, though. It's just raw emotion, light, sound. For some people, it's this incredible burst of creativity, like a muse. But for others, it's downright terrifying, a total psychological nightmare. So, naturally, when something this weird is happening on a global scale, a group forms to deal with it. A secret one, of course. They call themselves the Order. And these guys are the whole shebang. We're talking scientists, mystics, military leaders, politicians, all united by the belief that they are the ones who are meant to figure the signal out. And this right here, this quote says it all. Control versus contact. Shape the narrative. They're not interested in understanding what's going on. Nope. They want to control it. For them, this dream isn't some beautiful mystery or a chance to connect. It's a threat, a psychological weapon that has to be managed. And you can see how this escalates, right? It's pretty chilling. What starts out as this weird, kind of spiritual thing gets twisted over time into a full-blown doctrine of fear. And the Order, they go from being this little secret club to basically a shadow government, fully armed and just waiting for the day they've been preparing for. So all that prep, all that fear, it all comes to a head when the day finally arrives, the moment of contact. And for a little while, there's this brief, beautiful, and incredibly fragile connection. And then they show up. They're called the Resonant, and they are nothing like what the Order expected. These aren't invaders. They're ethereal. Their bodies are made of shimmering light. They don't even talk. They communicate through pure, shared emotion. They don't come armed to the teeth. They arrive with this gentle, harmonic sound that literally makes the air around them feel peaceful. Of course, we can't understand a single bit of it. It's totally alien to us. Except for one guy, Dr. Elias Raan. This poor man has been plagued by those dreams his whole life, thinking he was going crazy. But it turns out, he wasn't crazy at all. His brain was just tuning in. He becomes the bridge, the only person who can actually communicate with them. And just like that, humanity splits right down the middle. For half the world, the Resonants are a revelation, a chance to finally evolve. But for the other half, this emotional communication stuff is horrifying. They call it emotional colonization. And then you've got the zealots, who just see them as straight-up demons. And here it is, the tipping point. The moment it all goes wrong. And it's not even the Order that makes the first move. It's a lone terrorist. A bombing kills several of the Resonant, and that fragile peace we had, it just shatters. The world erupts in panic, which is exactly what the Order was waiting for. The world is in chaos, and now the Order makes its move. They're done interpreting dreams. Now they're going to seize control of reality itself. And they do not hesitate, not for a second. That bombing gives them the perfect excuse, and they launch a plan they've had on the back burner for decades. It's a global coup, a takeover from the inside out. I mean, the efficiency is just terrifying. Think about it. In one single day, they take everything. Governments, the media, military bases, even the UN. It's this perfectly coordinated, bloodless coup. It's a masterpiece of control, really, and it shows you just how deep their influence ran. Publicly, of course, they say they're just restoring peace, preventing a war. But what they're really after is a whole different story. Their goal is to capture the Resonant, steal their technology, and rewrite the story of First Contact their way. And, well, this is where the war starts. But this isn't your typical war with guns and tanks. It's a clash of natures, a conflict of philosophies. You see, the Resonants are peaceful by nature, but that doesn't mean they're helpless. All of their technology, which was built for things like growth and connection, turns out to be pretty adaptable. They're forced to turn their tools of peace into weapons of self-defense. And the way they fight couldn't be more different. It's just stark. The Resonant use things like harmonic fields to shut down our tech, or project pure fear to make soldiers drop their weapons without hurting them. They even grow alien plants on the battlefield. And what do? We respond with what we know. Brute force, frequency weapons, fire, chemicals. It's creative adaptation versus destructive aggression. And get this number. Just let it sink in for a second. 60,000. That's it. This wasn't some massive alien army. It was 60,000 beings. Maybe they were diplomats, scientists, who knows? Now trapped on a planet that's turned on them, fighting for their lives in a war they never, ever wanted. So, the war just spirals out of control. There are betrayals on both sides, and the story reaches its inevitable tragic end. We had our chance. And now, the galaxy is about to weigh in. But in the end, there's one last incredible act of defiance. A young guy inside the Order, one of the dreamers who actually felt what the Resonants were about, he pulls off what the story calls a reverse betrayal. He turns on humanity. He sacrifices himself to shut down our weapons just long enough for one last ship to get away. And as that last ship escapes, the survivors send out their verdict. And it's not a weapon, it's not a threat. It's a message broadcast to the entire galaxy, a warning. It basically says, stay away from Earth. They are a failed species, too consumed by fear to join the rest of us. So we're not alone anymore, but we've been quarantined. And that's the gut punch question that Resonant leaves you with. Because, it's not really a story about aliens, is it? It's a story about us, about our incredible capacity for wonder and our crippling tendency toward fear. It makes you ask, if we were faced with the truly unknown, what would we do? Would we actually listen? Or would we just try to control the narrative?